Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the fucking fridge that is Dragonborn Industries. I'm so cold, it's stupid. It snowed here this morning. I can't stand the snow. I think only people in, like, the North Pole would understand. Not Canada or anywhere like that, the Mist Lounge. Good morning. Hello to everybody in chat. Hello to everybody around the world. Who have we got today so far? So we've got Dragonborn Studios. Hey Craig, how you doing? Mist Lounge, how are you guys doing over there? Geeky Phoenix, morning. And ZZ, great to see you there. And I'm sure as the channel, as the live stream goes on, we'll see more people coming in as always. But, first of all, Richard.
How the fuck are you?
Oh, tickety boo.
Tickety boo? That's all you've got? Tickety boo?
That is what I've got today. I'm here, I'm ready, I'm raring, I am good. I'm wanting to get some paint on some models today, so I've not painted in too long. In fact, I think the last time I painted was a stream. Well, actually, no, tell a lie. We did the airbrush thing the other night, and I got a bit of paint on the beholder under here, so.
Yeah, so that was apparently Rich. You're quite quiet. So let's see if I can bring. I don't think I can bring you up. You might have to knock yourself up a little bit. Thank you, Fluffy, for that one. Good morning to you. Yeah, so obviously that was like our little session 0 to try and get Airheads ready to go, which is over on Dragon School Studios channel, which is going to be hopefully starting next Friday, which is going to be. Say again? Yeah, fingers crossed. And I guess we'll see. Hopefully it goes live and hopefully it goes well because, yeah, we've got some big old minis to paint up and some fun times to be had, which I'm looking forward to. As for today, on episode 28, we're going to be, it's 28 weeks, you know. And I say it every week, and I'm always amazed at how far we've come already with this one. We're not even a quarter of the way through, but we're doing the Couatl, the Couatl, however you want to say that. I say Couatl.
I say Couatl. I've heard it's pronounced, I've heard people say Couatl and all sorts. So.
Yeah, I think my English, Latin and Aztec is not good enough to really know how to pronounce that because I'm not very educated. But it's it's only a CR4 creature, you know. I thought it was going to be so much higher.
I was quite shocked when I read that this morning, actually. I was just like, what? Yeah,
so, I mean, they're an interesting creature and they've got a high armor class, they've got high hit points. They're spellcasters. They have a bite, they've got a constrict, they've got a change shape with polymorph, but they sit down at a CR4 because I think part of them is lawful good, and most of the things they have are helping spells, so like protections, sanctuary shields, create food and water, bless, detect evil and good, detect magic and detect thoughts. So all of those spells are buffing spells, realistically. I think you could change one up and reskin it to have more attack on there. I've got mods in chat saying, is there any chance of getting your mic a bit closer, Richard? Apparently you're quite muffled.
That's quite weird. It's in the same place and it's on max. So how am I coming through now if I speak a bit more shouty?
I think it's all well and good, but I guess it'll be down to people. If anybody at home, so anybody who's watching, just let us know if you are struggling to hear. You did not, diggity dog, miss the painting of the Monster Manual book. We are quite literally just jumping into the episode now. To which end, though, while I try and work out some levels, Richard, who are you and where can people find you?
I am Richard, I am Warrior Prince 3D. You can find me on Etsy, Facebook, Instagram, Band Badges, Dragonborn Industries. I am your one-stop shop for all your 3D printing needs, be it tabletop miniatures, collectibles, terrain, statues, anything you fancy printing. I've even had to do blanks for rings and other bits and pieces, you know, and jewellery stuff. So anything I can fit in the printers, I'm happily printing. Yeah, I am found in all sorts of places. Drop me a line on Instagram if there's ever anything you are in the market for and aren't too sure and just have any questions. Drop me a line. And at the same time, if you've ever got any questions about painting the miniatures, the statues, or any general questions, I can either answer them myself or point you in the correct direction of those that can.
As a pretty well practiced
waffle.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. I am trying to find the window application to try and get your sound up on my side, and because apparently a few people are saying it was the same as last week, you were quite muffled as well, so interesting.
So I'm at 100%.
Yeah,
It's going through the Kraken mic. Let me see if I can have a look at this side.
let's have a look. It should be.
And if people can hear me and want to tune in tomorrow night over at Band of Badgers, we are starting the Pathfinder 2 campaign.
You are indeed, and I'm going to put this up for you because you've got it here. Let's go across.
How's that? I've turned the mic up a little bit on the window setting. How does that sound?
That sounds better to me. Much, much better. So this is the Abomination Vault, which is going to be live tomorrow night on Band of Badgers YouTube and Twitch, which is Pathfinder 2E, isn't it?
Pathfinder 2, yeah, Abomination Vaults. Steve Trussell is our wonderful little GM.
Wow.
And we are smashing this out, hopefully, so it should be a good laugh.
I am looking forward to this because I have been really getting into some Pathfinder streams and I'm playing Starfinder at the moment. I'm waiting on 2E. And yeah, I think this is going to be absolutely awesome. But what about these other lovely things we've got here? So this is the mini we're painting today.
So this is the from Cast and Play the Ical Serpent God.
It's so good.
The whole, I forgot to send you the whole release actually, because the whole release is basically is trolls.
Really?
And very much, if there are fans of World of Warcraft out there, sort of like Zandalari trolls and Stranglethorn trolls, which are, you know, awesome little models.
Yeah. So there's. After you.
No, yeah, I'm saying it's a beautiful little model, this one.
Yeah, it really is. Like when I opened it yesterday, I was like, holy shit. I'm not going to get this done in an hour, I know that, but it's going to be amazing. This, however, I love these.
This is the most recent set from Artisan Guild, and they are live on the store this week, as well as 3 other bundles, because I've managed to get loads up this week.
And what store is that, Richard?
That is my Etsy store, Warrior Prince 3D. However, there is a discount code that Ian can give you guys to use as a 10% off the store.
That's to the stars.
If you're wanting to buy bundles, drop me a message and let me know, because I can then increase that discount by doing it through Instagram. And sorry, Ian, I don't mean to interrupt you there. I can't see you past the picture, so I don't know if you're going to speak.
No, that's fine. I'm just putting the picture. I just shouted to the stars, which is the discount code you can use on the Warrior Prince 3D store. And that, again, another amazing bundle from...
This one has been one of my favourites so far. The Plague Knights in this, I'm eager to get painting.
Yeah.
The Plague Knights are the ones around the top right and left corner, and they just look so effing cool.
Yeah. And this other one, which is Mimics Mayhem.
Yes, so this is Cast and Play's most recent release. This is not up on the store yet, but is available to order if you drop me a message. This entire set is Mimics.
This guy. I like this guy right here.
Hilarious, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, that's very, very awesome. But yeah, so there's some of the things that you can catch from Richard on Warrior Prince 3D's Etsy store, on his Instagram. Please go check them out. But yeah, dude, this mini that you sent out this week is fucking epic. It's so cool. Do you think you'll be tabletop ready in an hour with this one?
I don't know. I'm going to try some stuff. I'm using Army Painter speed paints from Army Painter. So I'm going to... I've left it in 3 pieces, so I've not glued it together like you have.
Yeah.
I've tried to sort of mentally map and manage how I'm going to paint it.
So how are you going to paint it?
So basically I'm going to start with... I've got the middle piece here with the wings. I'm starting with a pastel salmon and basically doing that all over the lighter part of the wings. Moving on to the base, which I've got the metallics for. Then going on to the head and doing some of the head bits and pieces and that. Going then back to the centrepiece and doing some of the body. And hopefully, basically, the last pieces will be the metallic cufflinks around it.
Yeah.
I can wait for. But obviously, it's trying to get the scaly underbelly done on this one, which is that it's got. and getting the feathers, and I've got a metallic, the Azure Magic Metallic from the new War Paint Army Painter range.
Nice.
Which I'm going to dry brush over the feathers, just to add that little sort of sheen in the end.
So I'm going to go somewhat similar. So I put mine obviously all together, and I don't think that I will get anywhere close to being done in an hour, because I want to give this model a bit more than it deserves. I want to give it more because it deserves it, is what I meant to say there. So I think I'm going to attack the stone that's its base, that it's wrapped around, with a load of browns and get them looking sandy. I'm probably going to start with a metallic, and I'm going to dry brush on a Green Stuff World Persian Violet metallic, and then I will go from there, because the rings obviously are going to be like golds and greens and stuff, but I think I want to use colour shifters through an airbrush. So I think that's going to be one of the things, because I'm obsessed now with my colour shifter paints, and this is a great thing to use it on.
And rightly so, and I tell you what, I'm a bit gutted, because I would love to be able to use the airbrush on this.
Yeah, same, and I think we'll see, because I mean it's going to be an interesting one in terms of an encounter.
I'm going to reprint this, and I'm going to airbrush it, and then I'll do a comparison at some point to see.
Yeah, I think you through the airbrush is going to be incredible on this thing. But have you got a level 3 character ready to go?
Oh, yes, I have. Here's one I made earlier. So we have Derek, the ASMR Paladin.
Derek, the ASMR Paladin. Okay, so I need to consider what we're going to... Okay, Paladin. That's good. So these are Celestials, the Couatls. So that's actually kind of cool. I like that quite a bit. Because I think for me, they're usually a lawful good creature, and they are guardians and protectors from gods that are no longer worshipped and that have gone out since around the dawn of time. So it's quite an interesting mystery around them as it is. They usually have tasks that they complete, be it guarding something or waiting for a prophecy to be fulfilled. And if they can succumb to old age, and if they are going to succumb to old age and they foresee their demise, and they can foresee their demise about 100 years before it, they begin to seek out a mate, and they begin to try and breed, essentially. And the way they breed is a magical dance, and that creates a crystalline egg that then they rear and try and hatch, and then teach it everything they've had about their duties and their reason for being moving forwards. So they're a really good NPC for party members to meet and not necessarily combat against. And they're also good for setting quests. They're also good for being allies in some way, or for being the reason that the party needs to achieve something. So I think I'm probably going to play on that one today more than anything else. Whereas sometimes it's a straight up combat, other times an encounter doesn't have to be a fight. So let's have a quick look at the stat blocks and stuff. So again, as we said earlier, these are a medium celestial. They are lawfully good. Armor class of 19 natural armor, which is high on the big 3. Hit points for a CR4 creature, 97, or 13d8 plus 39. Again, that's high on the big 3 that we talk about: armor class, hit points, and damage dealing. So we hope that they come down on the damage dealing, which, let's look at their main attack, is a bite, which is a 8+8 to hit, and it is 1d6 plus 5, so there's the low amount. So it's not too bad there. However, when they do hit, targets must make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be poisoned for 24 hours. Until this poison ends, the target is unconscious. Another creature can use that action to shake the target awake. So essentially, you're poisoned for 24 hours and you're asleep.
Yeah.
You can be woken up, but you would still remain poisoned, so disadvantage on everything. So it becomes a little bit trickier once again. Constrict is a +6 to hit. It's got a 10-foot reach, and whereas the bite only has 5 foot, but it is 2d6 plus 3 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled, DC 15 to escape. Change shape, the Couatl magically polymorphs into a humanoid or beast that has a challenge rating equal to or less than its own, or back to its true form. It reverts to its true form if it dies, and any equipment it is wearing or carrying is absorbed into the new being. In its new form, a Couatl remains its game stats and ability to speak, but its AC, movement, and new form. So yeah, it's pretty low end in terms of damage there. So it's definitely a tank for taking damage or a tank for other things, but it's not going to be outputting a massive amount of damage. Have you used these in a campaign before? No.
I've never seen or had any interactions with these. Maybe a similar like creature, but no.
Yeah, I also haven't had an interaction with these within Dungeons and Dragons yet, so I think this is going to be quite fun. This is going to be a first for both of us, and I like that you've got a Celestial with an ASMR. I think that fits in quite well. So I guess realistically, I need to work out how to set a scene since we've both got Celestials on the go here. So Mount Celeste is obviously the home, the plane of existence that Celestials come from. It is a beautiful utopia of beings of all different shapes and sizes that act as messengers, bodyguards, swords and shields of the gods themselves. They take their duty strong and powerful, but one of the most mysterious beings from Mount Celeste that maybe doesn't even find itself homing on Mount Celeste anymore is the Couatl. These beings are ancient, and when the dawn of time came around, there were gods that created these to protect prophecies or temples and information and objects and vestiges of divergence that could really become useful to chosen champions of the gods later on in time. However, they're so secretive in nature that a lot of the information is lost, and the only way to ever find out what's going on is to let prophecies unfold or to let people wander across them. However, recently a champion of a god, and would your Celestial have a god?
Not that I thought of.
Well, whichever god that may be, and we'll say it's a lawfully good one, just to be safe, is...
I think, let me read. So he is a Watcher Paladin.
Ayun?
Apparently.
Is that the name of the god?
We will call it the Watcher, that'll be fine.
Cool. The Watcher, who is a god of knowledge and sanctity, recently has had somebody called out and say that they found this place and there is this being that speaks only truths, because the Couatl can only speak in truths. And part of this cryptic truth and elusive truth that they've spoken is that they are waiting for a champion of the Watcher. They have called out and made contact through a spell, whose name I've forgotten. Commune, that's the name of the spell. And the Watcher sends you a dream, and they show you this ancient temple, this place covered in sand, a few bits of greenery around, and they say you must go here and learn to find out, to help this being who doesn't have time. And they teleport you away to this place, and you stand in a scorching hot desert, and you just feel the ancient magic coming out of this whole area. You work your way inside, and you hear in your mind a voice. Finally, the Watcher, they have sent somebody to aid me. I am not long for this world anymore, and I must pass on the information I have learned to my egg. And in your head, you see a vision of a red crystalline egg. They are to hatch soon, but I fear that my death is before them. I need you to pass a trial, and I need you to take on the information that I have so that they may continue to keep an eye out for the child of prophecy. Do you accept this? Are you here to help?
It is what I have been sent here for, and I should accept such a duty.
Thank you. And you watch as in front of you a serpentine large being begins to come out of the ground. They are feathered, and they have like multicolored feathers all over, and it sort of matches some of the stonework and like old paint that's maybe like disappeared. And they wear these like glorious golden bands all around themselves. but they look old. Like some of the feathers are starting to like depreciate or starting to look withered, and they flap, but it doesn't create wind around you. It's almost like being back on Mount Celeste. I'm going to put you to sleep, for in a dream I can show you everything, and I can make you remember in a way that you wouldn't if I spoke to you now. And they will cast...
Light.
No, they are going to cast sleep on you. And do you resist?
I'll go with you.
Awesome. And you feel your eyes close, and it's almost like you fall back, but instead of jolting awake like you would if you were falling, you find yourself floating in a sea of gossamer. And then that sea swirls and turns around and becomes the same place you were, but as if it was new again. And there's activity. There are humanoids running around and children playing, and there's this great temple of gold and stone that is beautiful to behold. It's an oasis of this amazing desert life, and you hear in your mind once more as there's being snakes around you, now a bit smaller. This was once the home I guarded. The people here lost to time. However, they were protectors of an item that must be given to a champion of the Watcher when the end of days is said to happen. There is a war coming, and we must guard it until one like yourself comes to defend that of the Watcher. Are there any questions so far?
No.
That's fair enough, because we're ad-libbing this to fucking high hell. They move forward, and the scene, instead of you walking, the scene moves forward, and you travel through maybe a little bit of a bazaar district and a small pond where people play, and you find yourself going into the temple. There are statues of warriors all around, and in the center of the room is a harp. The harp is also made of stone, and there is the sound of music coming from it, and you get the sense that this place is magical. And the Couatl, this is the first of the challenges. This information must be passed on to my child. But to pass it on, it's easier for you to complete the trial with my aid than it is to just show you. Then, therefore, you will be able to pass that information along in the same mannerisms. The statues all turn outwards. There's 6 of them, and there'd be 8 of them, and they all turn outwards. And the harp, a gold light, starts from the bottom and works its way up, and it becomes a real harp, and the music stops. You must find the corresponding magic and music to enter the temple, to go deeper to where my egg and also the item of the god is waiting.
That's me.
I'm going to set a timer for an hour, and I'm going to begin painting. I'm going to quickly look into chat. Let's have a quick look here. Dim, sorry I missed what character Beardy is. I was trying to fix my hop and only heard the name Derek. He is playing an ASMR Paladin, which is quite cool. Yeah, can you repeat all that, please? Well, we're only just getting into it. I need the timer up, and then we're going to start. So, the first quest. The Couatl hovers in the room with you, but leaves you to ponder the first...
Find the music. You say the harp stopped.
The harp has stopped, has become real, and the 8 statues all around have turned and faced away from you.
Okay. I will go up and I will strum the harp.
You go to strum the harp, and it sounds discordant and out of tune. You must re-embellish this instrument with the right notes. They are connected to the statues.
So that's what I thought.
And I'm going to dry brush some of this blue over the black.
Okay, so I'm going to head to the statues, closest statue, and investigate.
Okay, so you investigate the first one, and whereas before when they were facing towards the centre, they were all warriors, now they're facing away, they hold instruments. Each one different in its nature, be it strings, woodwind, whichever, but they are still all statues.
Anyone with a harp?
No. And I would just tell you all of the statues, that way we're not spending hours on a single puzzle.
Okay, can I move the statues?
You can give me a strength check.
$16.
16. Yes, you can turn them, and when you turn them to face the centre of the room, each one glows with a glyph. Each glyph, give me an Arcana check, please.
12.
12. You would recognise these as the different schools of magic, one for each school. However, as you turn them in and these glyphs come up, the Couatl then speaks. When the chosen arrives, they will arrive with friends. Those friends will help them. Each one of these markings, these symbols of magic, must be activated with the relative type or school of magic, the circle in which it belongs. When they do so, each corresponding statue corresponds to a string on the harp. And that will reactivate and retune the correct notation. And when this happens, an entertainer, a bard, a songster from the party may play the harp, and it will open the doors.
Okay.
For now, we do not need to do any more here. And you watch as the scene changes, as the doors, as they say the word doors, glow gold for a moment, and then you begin to float down through the floor and into another chamber. This is the second challenge. The room itself is dark. Even with your dark vision, as I believe you have as an ASMR, it is hard to see in here.
Okay.
This room is designed to take away the senses, to take away that which we believe is true. And you are blinded as the rest of the room goes dark. You must find the exit.
Okay. Before I am blinded, do I register anything within the room?
Okay, give me a perception check.
9.
9. So it is a circular room, but the room is large. It is at least 100-foot radius, I think is the full circle. And there is like a small wall that's about 2 foot high that mazes around the room.
Okay.
As you go blind, you hear of something. But you stand in the centre, and you know this.
Okay, did that sound like a torch igniting to me?
No. It sound. Give me a nature check.
Nature. Another awful one. 4.
4. You're not sure. It could have been a torch, but...
Okay, so I'm in the centre of this room. And did you say, did I register an entrance at all, or?
So in a 10-foot circular radius around you is where the wall starts, and there was definitely some little 5-foot gaps, like the north, south, and east and west, let's say.
Okay, it's just, I pick a direction and I walk forwards carefully, hands out.
Okay, you walk forwards, hands out, and after about 10 foot, you find that your hands make contact with a bush or a tree or a plant or a shrub of some kind. You can feel down it, and your hands reach that 2-foot wall. And what you realise the sound was plant life growing out of it.
I was going to say, I don't recall there being plants here.
There wasn't. And the Couatl's like, the maze has been sprung, but you must follow your divine senses to find the exit.
Okay, I'll ping out my divine sense.
And do you have a divine sense or anything that is an ability being an ASMR?
No, I'm a paladin.
Paladin? You should have something.
Yeah, as a paladin, I can divine sense.
Ah, perfect. Oh, sorry, the actual divine sense thing itself. Sorry, I think you were on about something different then. Yeah, so can you just read out what that one does for me, please?
As an action, I can detect good and evil until the end of my next turn. I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet.
Perfect. So,
Now, what I will say with this ruling, because the next word says, that is not behind total cover. You can use this feature 3 times per long rest.
Yep.
I do not allow that in my campaigns.
That's fine.
Because I don't agree with the fact that if a zombie is standing behind a wooden door,
I agree.
you are on the other side of that door, you can't sense it.
I absolutely agree. I also overlooked that fact. Hey, Absalom Dak, how you doing? Welcome in. We are doing a Couatl, which is this one right here, which I am doing in metallics first. I'm going to see how that goes. Yes, so when you cast the spell, this entire place is hallowed. But you get a few senses of pings. You sense that the plant life themselves are all they're not quite fiendish, but you get a sense of fiend. And then you move yourself along, and then there's an opening, and you can just feel this divine presence where there's an opening. And you begin to follow it through, and the path out of the maze is defined by the senses that you have with divine sense.
Okay.
Ah, good. This is another thing that you must pass on to the next, my child, when they hatch. The party, or the chosen who comes, will be able to sense their way through the maze if they just reach out and ask for the Watcher to guide them. The Watcher is always watching. And once more, you feel the room around you change. You end up in an oval-shaped room, and your vision returns to you. And there is broken stone and bones on the ground of different nature and size. This here will be a combat trial. And a being materializes in front of you. They're not quite fully corporeal, and you can't make out any features, but they look like a golden guardian of some sort. And they begin to move towards you. When the chosen comes, like I say, they will be with friends. But this guardian, it will not see them as guardians. It will not see them as champions. It will just see them as intruders. It brandishes a huge morning star as it comes down in on you. What is your AC out of curiosity?
19.
19. So,
For level 3.
it would strike you, but it passes through you like a ghost. And you go to initially, like, instinctually react, but then it whoosh, passes through you. The combat trial is merely to test one's strength and the relationship between themselves and the rest of their friends. The room then changes again. And you find yourself moving downstairs. Let's see what the Couatl's got.
Anything from the chat?
Not currently at the moment. Let's try this one. So. Yeah. You move down to the what's essentially another chamber, and you see this red gemstone-like egg on a pedestal in the middle of the room. This here is my child. I am not long for this world, and I fear it will hatch after I leave this existence. Would you be willing to stay here and guard it until my days are, well, until its days begin?
As long as my mortal vessel is considered, it is not an issue.
Your mortal vessel has already been considered. That is why the Watcher has sent you to watch over. Tim says, aren't you doing the wings like a macaw like I had to? I'm not. I'm going to go down the metallics route, and I'm going to try and get this looking a bit like the one that's not called a Couatl from Fantastic Beasts. But I need to get in and get some of the brown on the stonework now. So, time begins to speed up, and you watch as the Couatl that's taken you here gets very old and is very close to death. However, as this happens, you watch as a hole in one of the walls to this chamber blows through, and through come a party of 4 or 5 goblins. Let's have you roll initiative.
Motherfuckers.
So.
More concerned about the artificer with them. Oh, for fuck's sake. 3.
3, okay. Well, they're going to be going first. So, the Couatl is like, I was not expecting to see anything like this here, but I'm glad you are here. I may not be of much help. And the goblins all rush forwards. 2 of them have crossbows. The others just have standard dog slicers. We're going to do a single attack for them as a group, and then we'll do an average damage. So that is going to be 4 plus 6 for a goblin, which is a 9 to hit you.
Nope.
Nope, and a 9 to hit the Couatl, which is no with a 19 as well. These goblins clearly not expecting to find anybody down here, and are startled by yourselves as they burst through and don't quite land any of the shots or any of their hits. But the Couatl flies up in their very ancient and old state, and they will... We must drive these forces out, but they must not return and let anybody know that we are here. We must do what we must. And they will cast...
Murder.
Well, they can't do much in terms of attacking, so they are going to cast Bless on you.
Oh.
And it is your go.
Swing low.
Go for it.
Sweet longsword. Okay.
Div says, what about Beardy? Are you painting the wings like a macaw? And also, what's that box beside him that looks like an Army Painter box, possibly containing Army Painter paints from the Army Painter? Maybe even Army Painter speed paints from the Army Painter paint range.
Not Army Painter speed paints, because that box won't fit here. This is the Army Painter New War Paint metallic set.
Oh!
I acquired at the weekend. Thought I'd order some of the new sets and see what's what.
How are they?
I'm hoping to test them out on this stream. So I haven't used them yet, and I've got an idea for dry brushing over this afterwards.
Nice. So I'm doing a what's called a wet dry brush. So this is quite a heavy dry brush of brown now over all of the stonework. And this is Rhinox hide, because I really like it as a base for sandstone. And I'm also doing it for the base of the gold as well. Because let's face it, Retributor armor is going to be the main gold that we use.
Yeah. I feel about these colours.
How many did you get in that box?
In the metallic one, you get 3, 5. They get 10 pence.
Okay, so that's not too bad. How much is that?
I don't know, because I got it for a good price. And I bought this set and a wash set for about 40 quid.
Oh, that's not bad. Is that in Reigate?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's yeah. I think I picked up the army paints, not the army painter, the Green Stuff World ones that I'm using for the metallics and stuff, and the metallic range and the effects range that I got were about 80 quid each, and they're, yeah, I'm really enjoying them, to be honest. Very, very much so. And you know when you get something that's like sort of inspires you to try something new or do something more?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes.
very much that.
That's good then.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying them. So that's the brown onto the majority of the places. Just double check I haven't missed anywhere. No, that should be all good. So, yeah, what are you doing with your turn?
Twatty, so I rolled a 17.
17, yeah, definitely going to hit a goblin. Not expecting anybody to be down here. Let's go.
Bear with me 2 6 before I do this delicate bit, and then I will roll some damage.
No, you're fine. Remember, you have a bless as well.
Even better. That would have been more to hit anyways, because he don't get on damage. 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. So the first goblin, you slice into them, and they like look at you with these like burning red eyes. And unless you speak goblin, you don't know what they say. But he looks pissed off. And anything else from yourself?
I don't think I have any bones.
Div says, what's a bless? Bless is a spell that enhances your attack rolls and your saving throws. So Richard will get a D4 on top of his D20. So the Couatl's very much a buffing creature.
Yes, that's it from me.
Okay, so top of the round, the 5 goblins are going to take a go. They see the big Couatl, they see it cast magic, and one at the back with a crossbow is like, and they will take a group shot. As a 6 plus 6 is going to be a 12, but the Couatl's wings knock some of the bolts away, and the dog slices of the 3 on the ground just don't, well, 3 at your feet don't seem to make contact as you manage to like parry them away. Good, I see you're a strong combatant. Thank you. And it is now the Couatl's go, and the Couatl will fly down and attempt to bite one of the goblins.
Quite the little fuckers.
Yeah, that's going to be an 18 to hit, so that's going to do that. 1d6 plus 5. 11 points of damage, and it just, like a snake, and this is the first time you've seen it act in a way that's aggressive, its head whips out and bites into the goblin. You see its teeth pierce through this goblin body, and then just throws it against the wall to one side with its head, and it goes limp against the wall, and then you see it sort of like fall back in the air slightly, the Couatl, as it's like, I do not have much energy left. And it's your go.
I will call out to the Couatl to fall back, and I will pile into the goblins.
Okay, so you make an attack at the ones by you.
Have I got any actual alarm and detect magic? For fuck's sake. Alright, okay. 19 to hit.
Yeah, definitely going to hit. They have like an AC of 7.
8 damage.
And you slice one of their heads clean off. As they also have hit points of like 7. Anything else from yourself?
That's all I can do at the moment because it's action economy. So I only have 1 attack around, no bonus actions, no point putting smites in because it's dead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You smash this first one down and it's just gone. The other two, the other one is just like, looks back at the crossbow ones and one of them like seems to just shout and it readies itself and it stays where it is currently. But if that's everything, then they will get a go. So, still a low hit. The goblin that's next to the one you just killed looks like it's about to hit you, and the Couatl flies between you and the goblin and seems to like change its shape almost. It like gets smaller in size, takes a hit from the dog slicer, and then flies back around, and it sort of deflects the blow for you. And the other 2 crossbow bolts also seem to like thud into it, but although it looks damaged, it then falls back a little bit towards the back of the room. It will then make a concentration check on Bless, passes, and will, let's see, no, it's going to hold something, but that's it. It is now your turn.
Okay, rinse and repeat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
10 to hit.
It's going to hit.
What's that? 12 damage.
So that's the last of this dog slicer wielding goblins down as you smash into it.
Use my movement to get into the melee range of the 2 crossbow wielding buggers.
Yeah, and you see them shit themselves as they're like not expecting to come in here and just get absolutely obliterated by what is essentially an angel and a flying snake. And you can see them now with 3 of the other ones dead, beginning to panic. And they just drop their crossbows, they pull out dog slicers. I mean, it's a nat 1, how do you parry it?
With its face.
Just, like, you grab its head and like, throw it into its own attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that I'll give him a point or 2 of damage. And there's like a ah! And the Couatl, you hear a heavy thud behind you.
Okay.
And it's your go.
I will use my bonus action to glance around behind me.
It's a free action to look, it's fine. It's lying on the ground, only slithering slightly. It looks bad. But it is your go.
Right, I'll head to I'm going to run to the Couatl quickly.
Okay, if you're running...
Dump my lay of hands into it, and then I'm coming back to combat.
So, 2 things that are going to happen first. They're going to make an attack of opportunity.
Yep.
Ah, there we go. That's a 21 to hit.
Okay.
That's a d6 plus 3. 5 points of slashing damage from them both.
Okay.
However, the Couatl's still alive. 21. What's your AC?
19.
19. You know what? The Couatl's going to cast shield as a reaction. And
You can only do it yourself, can't it?
oh shit, yeah, it is. Ah, that's boring.
Unfortunately, it would have been awesome.
Yeah. Ah, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, fair enough. You take the hit, you run over to it, and it's like, no, this is my time. It is foreseen. Please stop them from leaving. And you can see the 2 goblins looking like they're about to run back out of the hole they created and escape.
Does it stop me before I heal it?
Yes. It would be a waste.
Okay, I'll turn, swap sword into the other hand, and I'm going to javelin one of them as I run back towards it.
Okay, make the attack roll, ranged attack. You can use strength or dex, that's up to you.
Natural 20.
I mean, how do you... There's two of them. How do you kill one of them?
It's just full on sort of turn and pivot, and suddenly all my strength goes into it as the javelin impales it straight through the forehead and into the wall.
So there is, this moment that, like, as it's turning to run, it just... And it's just embedded in the wall, and you can use the rest of your movement to, like, start running up to behind the other goblin.
Yeah.
With that, there would be a yelp of "Ah!" as the other goblin sees this and just begins to absolutely try and peg it up through the hole. It takes one last pot shot at you for a 12 plus 6, which is 18. No, sorry, 12 plus... What is the range shot on that? I think it's only going to be a 3. That's a 15.
It misses.
Yeah. They drop their crossbow, and you can see they've tunneled tunneled down through the temple, with avoiding most of the stuff, and they must have been at it for a long, long time. Longer than you've been here, but also the passage of time has sped up, which is interesting. And yeah, they begin to start climbing their way up. They're probably about 30 foot up.
When they move out of my melee range, do I get an attack of opportunity?
I would say that moving away from them to the Couatl and back again, they would be outside of your melee range.
Okay. I didn't get back into combat with them then.
No, not quite, because moving away to the Couatl and then back.
Okay, I will try and javelin it, and then move to follow it.
Yeah, give it a go.
Javelin, 5 to hit. 16 to hit.
Yeah.
Max damage. 9 damage.
Yeah, and tell us how you impale this one.
It's literally, I just take it straight in the very sort of, mid-center of it, at its back.
Okay, so as it hits and it lands into the centre of this goblin's back, the room around you then begins to swirl and change. And as it does so, you return to the same room, but without the hole in the wall or the goblins there. Your sword is still impaled into the wall, and your javelin is now in front of where the hole would be, where the last one was. And the Couatl is still in the same position on the ground. You fight well, and you protect even better. I foresee that you will... And they kind of, like, the head, like, snakes up and looks towards the egg. Towards the egg. You will be a great imprint on my child. And they slump down, and you feel yourself come to consciousness, and you wake up from this same room, in the same room, but on the ground next to you is a very malnourished and very, very skeletal-like Couatl. Like it's been dead, not a massive amount of time, but like all of the life force has been drained out of it. And you turn around, and you feel perfect. And you remember everything like it is part of your very fibre. And you turn to the pedestal where this egg, this large red gemstone egg, begins to... and then begins to crack. And that's probably where we'll leave it.
Well, shit. I'm a daddy.
I think for saying that we just came up with that on the fly, you did very, very well.
Always a good giggle.
Yeah, it's good fun. But I've never used a Couatl in an actual campaign before. I certainly know that it would be a temple protector or something celestial in that bounds, but just trying to read up the lore on it this morning, and it was like, I like how they breed.
Yeah, I'd say it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very fun. But yeah, I don't know about you guys at home, but have you guys ever used the Couatl in your campaigns? Have you used them for good guys, bad guys? What were you going to say there, Richard?
I said, have they ever used them for anything?
Yeah, it's something that, like I said, I just never had the opportunity to throw in. Tim says, Couatl Lich. That would be insane. I like the idea that part of the lore for them is that they will defend whatever they are set to defend for their entire life and try and pass that on to their offspring and X, Y, and Z. But the idea of corrupting one, that could be quite fun. Or if you turn up and you're the bad guys and they fight you and you reskin it with clerical spells.
Ooh, that could be fun.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think like the spells that they've got, you know, create food and water, cure wounds, lesser restoration, it is all about buffing and helping the party.
It could be quite fun. I've got some celestial stuff coming up in some of my bits and pieces, so...
Maybe there's like a mistreated one that's now...
Well, might be a couple of interesting sort of reskins to do with that, actually.
Yeah, that could be quite fun. So I'm taking Army Painter's Desert Stone to go over that plinth at the bottom.
I've used their Aztec Gold.
Oh.
Which is quite a nice little, nice chunky gold to it, sort of thing.
And I'm putting a turquoise underneath the belly.
Ooh.
So I'm going to have the belly is quite bright, and then I'm going to have the metallic colours, then colour shifters over the top. And then I'm going to do like the macaw colours on the like earrings and stuff that they've got.
Yeah.
I think that could be really fun. I really love the serpentine face on this though. Like it looks like a viper going in for the attack.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really
A
cool.
little blob of white paint on my my little sheet here. And no matter where I move the sheet to, I keep putting my finger in it in the exact same place.
I know that pain.
You're doing my tits in.
But yeah, it's combat over, and we still got 27 minutes. And I know I said that I don't think I'll be tabletop ready, but actually, going through some of the dry brushing, I actually might be to an extent.
Yeah?
What I might do is, because I still want to airbrush this, I want to put like some galactic style nebula patterns on it.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be really fun, like night sky feathers. But I think that I will hit the metallic feathers with a blue, and then I'll use a colour shifter blue red or purple red for that macaw-like effect, but more metallic.
Yeah.
On the tips of wings. I think that could be quite fun. So, let's grab out my green stuff world paints, which I'm super into at the moment. Hey, green stuff world.
Okay.
Sort us out, mate. So, let's grab Neptune blue. Oh, this is my previous message. Please check on Beardy, please, and tell him to set up his second camera so we can see him work like we can you.
The problem is I can't have a second camera in this call.
Do you not use OBS?
You what?
Do you not use OBS or Streamlabs?
I thought because I connect through you, I can only do the one camera.
No, you can still do two. Because what you do is you set up OBS, you put your two cameras on, and then you use your OBS as your virtual camera, and then that will go into Discord as that, which is why I can do it and you can see the whole screen.
And I will get that sorted and done.
That'd be very awesome.
Get it set up on here.
As for people in chat, Dibs, I'm actually not too sure, to be honest. Was trying to get through ad-libbing that one. I certainly know that there's been a few people earlier in chat, like the Mist Lounge and Dragon School Studios, but I'm not sure who's in on YouTube, if there is anybody in on YouTube at the moment. Absalom was in earlier, Fluffy was in earlier, we got Diggity Dog, and ZZ. But yeah, it's... I imagine that a lot of people are working today. Certainly know that I've been working to the bone trying to get the dice ready for Midnight's Hour. We managed to finish polishing most of the masters yesterday. I'm going to redo the 6, and yeah, we are on track for getting the first sets of dice through and ready for them, which I'm really excited about, to be honest.
I can't wait for you guys.
Yeah, so I've not worked on yours yet because I know that I said I'm doing something for you, but I've got an idea now in mind. So they won't be there for week 1 of Abomination Vaults, which is live tomorrow, 9 PM on Band of Badgers, Twitch and YouTube.
Don't miss it.
Yeah, guys, please do go check out Richard on that show tomorrow, because Richard now gets to be a player in a campaign, and it's something that I've been able to do now for just over a year with Band of Badgers. And now it's Richard's turn, and I cannot wait to see...
See me fuck up.
Dude, you'll have the best of times. It's so good. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to just watching my friends play. As for Midnight Towers, I was saying earlier, please go check out my Kickstarter. Hopefully the links are in chat. Streambot's been a bit weird with me recently and not putting it on YouTube, but doing it only on Twitch and sometimes not at all. If it is there, then please do. That'd be awesome. Fluffy, I'm here just lurking as working and trying to entertain the kids at home from school today. Yep. Hi Fluffy, just give them a pasty and a bottle of pop and send them out to play on the moors. They have to get to the pop first.
Day off school today, or are they poorly?
No, so as we were driving in, because the school for them is about 8 miles away,
yeah,
it started to really snow down heavy. The problem is down here is I have to take a load of back roads to get to their school.
Yeah.
And if you get stuck on them in the snow, you're...
Safe decision.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, we'll play it safe for now. And although it's sunny at home, close to where they go to school, it was like really throwing it down, but I think it's probably all right by now. But yeah, it was a safety decision to be like, you know what, just in case they get stuck there and we can't pick them up.
Yeah, don't bugger around with that.
Yeah, exactly. So just the easiest thing to do. Actually, this blue is turning out really well. So that is the Neptune blue, I think, over the Persian.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That's fucking stunning, right? Look at that.
Very jealous.
Woohoo!
Is that just dry brush?
That's just dry brushing over black. Tips, I miss those roads, especially the ones that don't have the passing points. And that is the problem. Like, even this morning, with the tiniest bit of snow, people were like, nope. So it's just easier to play it safe with the kids.
People just become level 3 dickheads, don't they?
Yeah, that's the one way of putting it. Yes, they do. It's, but safety first, I guess, is the most important thing. As long as people aren't getting hurt. And that over-cautiousness doesn't cause an issue. Beautiful, says Dibs. So, actually, Mist Lounge, if you're there and can hear me, I've now booked a stream with Avs on Dak for next week to do some map making stuff, and we're going to talk about that and go. We should talk about the collab that we wanted to do, and start working out a date and getting together at some point. And I'll be there in chat tomorrow night, watching Richard.
Always appreciate your support, my dude.
Oh, I cannot wait, and I love taking part in chat when I'm not doing anything.
So that's always the fun part.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, like with Starfinder on a Monday, we try not to react to the chat because it's.
I was going to say, you're trying to spread attention, so it's.
Yeah, it's less immersive if we do so, and that's what the mods are for, which is like yourself and Fluffy and Geeky and people. But yeah, this time I just get to have fun, and you'll see it on tomorrow night. That just playing the game and not worrying about chat and stuff is actually really kind of fun. But I do like interacting with chat. It's why I like this show, because we can interact with our amazing,
lovely audience.
Yeah, because those guys are fucking awesome. It's the Grockles that cause problems down there, yeah. Avson Dak, what are you playing? Richard, I'll let you tell him.
What was that?
Avson wants to know what you'll be playing.
So I am playing a cleric.
And what setting, what campaign?
It is the Abomination Vaults. And I'm very excited. I love clerics, and I'm curious just to see how they sort of go in Pathfinder. I've never, ever played Pathfinder. So I know I'm in for a bit of I said not a rude awakening, but an adjustment. So I'll be curious as to see how it all goes.
So I think this is the perfect colour. This is Eldorado Gold.
Oh, I love it.
Which is very Aztec. So I'm going to use that for the band. You still got 19 minutes, Richard. I actually think I might be tabletop ready. Only might.
I might be somewhere in between. I just don't want to show mine now because these speed paints aren't quite my home.
I have fucking loved these metallics.
I want my airbrush.
I definitely want to go in and highlight things, and I definitely want to get the bands of metal done. The details of the face, I don't think I'm going to get done. But actually, I could throw that on a table, and I think people would be all right with it. So Dib says, what kind of setting is Pathfinder? Every time I hear the name, I think of Carl Urban. Think of the Carl Urban film. Absalom, it's based on D&D 3rd edition, so a medieval fantasy setting. Yeah, so Pathfinder comes from Dungeons & Dragons. It came around the 3.5 era, and yeah, they set it on a world called Galerion, whereas D&D has the Forgotten Realms. You can homebrew it, you can do whatever you want, but Galerion is the main setting. And then in Starfinder, which is obviously the game that we play here on Monday Night Live at 6:30 every week, is that planet is now missing, and in its place in the solar system, a station called Absalom Station is present. And Absalom is a city on Galerion. It's a success in the direct relation to 4th edition's failure. Yes, and that was it, because 4th edition D&D got basically
nearly killed D&D.
Yeah, and I think there were some things like minions and stuff like that, and skill challenges, which I still like to this date, but that was about it.
I was quite lucky because I had a bit of a hiatus from D&D, which was basically when 4th came out.
Nice.
We never got subjected to it.
Right. Hopefully that will have done enough to mix the Eldorado gold. I wonder which army painter and which citadel paint this is close to. Because they're always similar in some way.
So are we looking towards Retributor or?
We're looking closer to Liberator, but between the two. So I mean, this is the blob right there.
Liberator's is one of the layers, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a pale one. But yeah, this is somewhere between them both. Could be auric gold, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna smash that on and see what happens. How many editions are there? So currently we're on edition 5 of Dungeons & Dragons, and I personally think it is the most streamlined it has ever been. It is very easy to be able to do whatever you want in it. However, if we include things like 3.5 and what is essentially now 5.5 with the update to the monster manual and stuff, yeah, we're looking at like 7. Because then there's things like AD&D and yeah, a few other like what was the kids one? Yeah, I can't remember either. But yeah, there's a few, and I think Absalom knows quite a lot about the editions. Every time I've chatted to them, they are very, very on point with their knowledge, which is very cool. Citadel, Screaming Bell, Coppery, would look awesome with the colours you've done. Yeah, it probably would actually. Actually, I have some coppers actually with the Green Stuff World. I might actually dig some of those out. So I mean, that's actually kind of brassy, that gold, just dry brushed on.
I'm literally in love with that.
Yeah, I really like that I went metallics.
Yeah.
Hey Herbalist, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Richard, how are you?
Yeah, ask me later.
Are you struggling with the speed paints?
No.
I'm gonna say I'm very glad that I'm not using them for this. I think if you had the time, it would be fine. And if you primed it white and you went really vivid macabre colours like Dib said earlier, it would be fine.
I would need the airbrush.
Yeah?
In all honesty, because of how it dries, how it goes on, through the airbrush I can lay the colours down nicely, it dries better as it goes, dries more evenly.
Yeah.
I don't end up with bloody lumps of bloody paint everywhere, because as soon as you put your brush into the what's it fills your pile up.
Yep, I agree. I just struggle with speed paints. Very much so. Absalom, there was also the original 74 game and the second edition. They had another rule set that isn't counted as separate edition. Fair enough, I didn't know that. I know a bit of 3.5, I know a bit of 4, but 5th is really the one that I dived into because I was so late to the ttrpg party because I was so self-conscious for so long about playing D&D because
it was devil worship.
no, not quite. I fucking love the devil. However, I was so self-conscious that I would be seen as that guy, and I did have the misconceptions that you dress up around the table and it was more LARP, and I always thought I'm a nerd, but do I want to be that nerd? And I fucking shot myself in the foot because I missed out on so many good times that I could have had playing a game that I now adore with all my heart. But yeah, it was.
You live and learn, but at least you're here.
Yeah, exactly that, and fucking hell, like we both now. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Which is fucking, it's so awesome. I absolutely love that this is what I do with my life. It's the least toxic environment I've ever been in, and I fucking love it.
Always good fun.
That, and when we go to things like Dragon Meet and we meet up, I have the best of times.
I'm looking forward to the next meet-up, not going to lie.
So, I'm not able to go to the UK Games Expo this year. Are you going?
No.
Yeah, I was going to be going, and then, one of my best friends decided to have a fucking wedding on the 1st. God.
Selfish bastard.
I know, and it's almost like they didn't know I was doing that, and they booked it before I'd even thought about it. But still. No, I
other than Dragonborn, I'm trying to think what else there is. I wouldn't mind trying to find something maybe halfway between us.
So there is, on the 10th of February, I'm not sure if I'm able to get to it yet, but there is Beachhead in Bournemouth. And then there will be things like Plymouth Con, Devon Con. We'll find something.
Plymouth Con would be good fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we need to get over and meet Dibs.
Yes, who went to Warhammer World recently, but also, it's my original stomping ground, Nottingham, so it would be quite fun. I've got so many people I've got to actually like meet up with and do things. I see so many like content creators actually like meeting up. Like I think Miniature Noodles and Velvet got together recently.
Yeah, are they close to each other or?
Closer than you and I believe, because I think Velvet's in Wales and Miniature Noodles is North Cornwall.
So poor old Herbie's at the north end of the country as well.
And the rest.
Yeah.
Fucking Scotland! Where I imagine today is fucking freezing.
Very fucking freezing.
I love that video of that little girl. She's just like, "What's up, baby?" She's like, "It's fucking freezing." So.
You know what? I've lost all heart in this now.
Have you?
I really have.
I was like that with the Chimera.
It's broken me a bit.
Yeah. That's what happened to me in the speed paints, and I haven't really gone back to them since because of that.
Yeah, I might be a giveaway for speed paint soon.
You guys want some half your speed paints? Yeah, it's interesting, but I have missed doing things like this. Yeah, I mean that gold's starting to really come out now.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Let's see if I can get some of that original colour back where I've just gone slightly over and I've been a little bit messy. There we go. So remember to go light with the blue over the purple, just so it's like highlights. I then need some red. Oh, actually no, let's use the copper like Div said. So, where are that could be really good over the top of that gold. So that is a... Ooh. No. Get ahead of myself. Richard, get some of these paints.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. You got a link you can send me for them?
Yeah, I will do. And hey, maybe I'll put that in chat. Not in chat, in the description on the YouTube comment below. YouTube description below. And hey, if you end up getting some green stuff, let them know we sent you.
Yeah, please.
If these guys want to fucking sponsor a show, I will fucking lose my marbles. See, I've got the reflective chrome metal, but I don't want to use that. I want to use there's an antique gold, there's a bronze, steampunk copper. You know what's nice as well? Is they're named something relatively close to what they actually are.
So it's always a great thing.
Which, actually, I will say for the Army Painter, they are now doing that. Whereas Citadel are still like, now we're going to name it a faction thing, and so anybody outside of the law is like, Fulgrim Pink?
What the fuck's that?
Yeah, exactly. Big old buzz from the Whizzy Whiz. Look at it go. Oh, that's a radiator. I got the radiator between my legs and I just put this down there to get it away from the mics, and I hit the radiator.
How long we got left?
You got 7.5 minutes. Do you reckon you can clean it up in that time?
No.
No.
I think I'm done with speed paints.
So, have we learned, or is what we've learned between us is that if you are going to try and do a mini in an hour, speed paints aren't the way to go?
I do not think they are for me in general. I have not had much fun with them, I have to say.
I think there have been times that I have, and that has been army painting.
Times and select paints.
Yeah. I keep trying to use them as like shades and stuff, and that's not bad. Like I use a lot of the greys and the blacks for NMM now, because they make a good silver through to white. But yeah, there's a lot of the contrast ones that I struggle with as well. And I think everyone's got such a different art technique that I'm so stuck in my ways. And I know the results that I like to get for me, that's kind of where we go. So this is the steampunk copper.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so we're going to try that over the... Yeah, that's lovely. Let's do that one. So, I need a different brush. That one there. So is that you saying you're done now?
I'm done. That's killed me, that has, really has.
Oh man, I'm gutted. But that is literally how I felt after the Chimera, and all the speed paints ran into each other, and I was like, I'm better than this.
That's all it's done in places, and it's just everywhere.
Let's have a look.
I'm going to spend this afternoon airbrushing it, and I'll see how we go.
Let's have a look at what you've got.
So that's...
Oh, it's not bad though. I like the wings.
Well, even them, I went solid white with the wings, purposely, because I knew I wanted them sort of high. That's the metal bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you feel so disheartened.
Yeah. No.
It's just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah, well, that'll all be going to dry, and then I'm going to spray paint over it, airbrush over it.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I'm actually relatively pleased. I did not think that doing this with dry brushing was going to go that well. And
I think that is fucking incredible, mate. I love it.
Yeah, I will take the compliment, put my finger in paint and try not to touch the rest of the mini. But actually, I definitely want to sort out the belly and get that looking less than just a dry brush of turquoise.
Yeah.
But as for those, I'm really pleased with that. I think I'm probably gonna leave it there and I would say that probably is tabletop ready. I haven't done the face though, and I haven't done the wings or any of the details, but I could put that on a table, and I think people would get the gist.
And be happy.
Yeah, relatively so, because I actually really like those metallics. And I think that's all the magic it needs.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely want to hit this with an airbrush, though, because there's so much more I want to do, and I don't want to go too far with the dry brushing for that. But I guess, so 1 minute, 1 hour, are you tabletop ready?
No.
No, I would say that I am, and I was not expecting to be. I also really like, by the way, this doesn't have a base and it stands up on its own little thing, and it's balanced.
It is brilliant because the base with it is it's a plain Aztec design thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, so I thought this, just having it like that would be fine.
But it's balanced perfectly. That it's absolutely fine. So I would advise people to go out and buy this from Richard because it's a fucking cool print. Even as you could use that as a dragon. You could use that as so many different things. It's so awesome. I love it. Very, very cool. But with 3 minutes left to go, I'm stopping the timer. I'm going to leave mine where it is. I'm sorry that you didn't get yours done and it was disheartening. Not that I need to say sorry, it's not my fault. But I'll still say sorry anyway. But that's what happens in mini painting. And actually, if you are sat at home and you are mini painting, or you do get into mini painting and you get to the end of a mini and you think, I'm a piece of shit, that happens. It fucking happens so many times. And it's imposter syndrome, it's a real thing. You're fine. The mini is for you, not for anybody else. And this show was originally designed to be about beginners and about seeing if we can get it ready in an hour. And I think that it still is about that. So we can't always succeed. I think, yeah, like my Chimera, I look at it up there and I cringe. But your Chimera looked great.
That's alright.
But yeah. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I might say that we're not going to be back next week because I have an appointment thing going on, but we'll be back potentially the week afterwards. I will talk to Richard about that off stream because I need to confirm things with my wife and I need to confirm things with Richard. However, guys, thank you so much. It's always so lovely to chat to you in chat and to have you guys here. It really is one of the highlights of my week, and getting to hang out with Richard and play D&D, even when it is madly ad-libbed, done on the cuff. Nothing but chaos. Guys, thank you so much. Please go check out warriorprince.etsy.com. Use code to the stars. And if you want bundle stuff, contact him on Instagram. We'll put the links in the description below. And may the dice gods be ever in your favour.
Have a lovely one, folks.
Take it easy, guys.